Guys, and welcome back to another week of the Porsche Cup car here on iRacing. My name is Matt Emery of Veloce Vex, and this is Coach Dave Academy. We're here for week 3 then at Road Atlanta. First of all, let's get into the hot lap. Okay then, so let's get into the hot lap guide then for the Road Atlanta circuit. Your lap starts obviously at the final corners. Make sure you're getting a great run onto the pit straight to start your lap. And then flying towards turn 1. Quite a tricky corner to get right. Something that I found in practice as well. And in general with the circuit, it's quite hard to get into a rhythm. But once you do and once you build that confidence, obviously the lap time will just keep coming and coming. So you're looking just into turn 1, just braking just before the end of this grass here. Excuse me. And then just getting the car into the apex, not trying to hit the curb too much. If you get too much on the curb, it just unsettles the car and it'll just send you wide. And ideally, you're looking to stay in the middle of the track on the exit here. So you're braking just before the grass ends onto turn 1, making sure you're not turning in too early and making sure you're staying to the left-hand side just to open up the corner as much as you can. 4th gear through the apex and then back on the throttle. As I said, keeping it in the middle of the track as much as you can. And back over to the left-hand side, using all of this curb on the left to open up the corner. Down to 3rd gear and then sending it across this inside curb there. Obviously be really careful. You can pick up quite an easy off-track there if you cut the curb too much. So just something just to look out for. As you come over the hill, you literally can't see anything. So obviously get your reference points, get your practice in as always, and then just over the edge of the curb there you're aiming for, just about there. If you cut any more than that you will get off track, so just bear that in mind and be careful. Out of the corner, you're looking to sort of use this curb here just to follow the car around or help guide the car around the corner. Although I did find recently, I felt like before in other sessions I could go flat out. But you notice I have a little slight lift as the rear end starts to come around slightly. So I'm not sure if that's new or what it is. I also found this corner as well a lot more understeer than it used to be. You're really aiming again just for your front tyre just to be on this yellow line. You turn in too early, you'll pick up an off track just for clipping the grass there. So you can actually tell on this lap I understeered slightly wide. Ideally I would have been a bit further along that curb. But it's a bit of a fine line, just trying to balance, obviously turning in at the right point and try not to turn in too early. As I said, if you hit the grass, you will get an off track. All of the curb on this left-hand side, you can see I'm slightly touching the grass there. That's absolutely fine, get away with that. And then you go straight up the hill. Braking in a straight line, also braking on this curb on the right-hand side, just to open up the corner. And then turning in 3rd gear, using all of this inside curb. And all of the exit curb as well, all the way to the edge of the gravel, and then on the throttle as early as you can. And then flat out towards this double right-hander. So you're starting to brake just before this 200 meter board on the left, and also this dotted line, which is helpfully on the track as well. Using 3rd gear for this corner, you can use 4th gear and just hold it all the way through. It unsettles the car slightly less, but I just found for the rotation at the midpoint of the corner, best to use the third gear, I found anyway, during my laps. And then onto the second right-hander, using all of the exit and all of the curb to open up the right-hander, and onto the back straight. And that actually doesn't unsettle the car at all, I found. So that curb is there to use if you want to. Just open up this corner as much as you can. Obviously, exit is really important for this corner, as you've got the massive long straight to follow. So using all of the exit curb you can, and then completely flat out towards the final chicane. Second to the right hand side, just the shortest line of resistance. Obviously well above 200 kilometers an hour now, plunging back down the hill, and then you've got all this time to think about your braking zone. As it's downhill, it's really easy to lock up your front tyres, so just bear that in mind. You're braking just before this 100-meter board on the right hand side, so probably at 130 I'd say. 100% brake pressure you'll see, and then just slowly, steadily coming off the brake pedal, easing it into the first one. Make sure we're not cutting the curb too much. Also notice I'm using the curb slightly on the entry as well, just to open up the corner. But yeah, aiming really just not much further than that patch of grass. Obviously it's not green, just sort of slightly yellow bit of grass. If you cut much more than that, you'll get off track. So that's about the limit. You don't want all four wheels over the white line. And then back across for the second part of the chicane. Again, same thing, not cutting the grass too much, otherwise you'll pick up an off track. Main thing is to get on the throttle as early as you can. Use all of the exit curb, and then you fly down to the final corner. Obviously important to get a good exit out the final chicane. Just so you carry that speed across the start-finish line. Quite uneven as well, so it will feel quite light across this exit curb. The rear will want to go around on you, so just bear that in mind, especially when your tyres are cold as well. But yeah, as I said, flat out on the exit, underneath the bridge, and plunging back down to the last corner. You can, obviously, if you're starting your lap in qualifying, it's better to be as far left as you can, just open up the lap and carry the speed across the line. If you're finishing your lap, you can run, you know, as close as you can to the inside, really. Obviously, try not to compromise your final corner too much, but it just means you can shorten the run to the line. So you're looking about this, sort of taking this sort of line, and then flying it across this final curb. In the race, you're taking more of a sort of curved line, similar to what I've done on this lap. Just making sure we're not using too much track, but also make sure we're not scrubbing off too much speed either. So across the curb for the last corner. Again, using all of this curb on the inside, make sure we're not touching the grass too much, but a little bit's fine. And that completes a lap of the Road Atlanta circuit. So that was the hot lap guide then for the Road Atlanta circuit in the Porsche Cup car for week 3 here on iRacing. My name's been Matt Emery. As I said last week, if you guys do want any coaching, it is now available on our website, coachdaveacademy.com. Obviously, all the latest data packs on there as well. Any questions, let us know down in the comments and also on Discord as well. But other than that, I will see you next week. Take care, guys.